Hi, this is Cindy. I decided to talk a little bit. There's a lot of things I haven't told you. In the tapes, I got kind of bashful and intimidated from, I've had a lot of bad comments about me. And, you know, sometimes you have to in life. You're always going to have somebody that's going to look at you and be negative and pick you apart. But that's how I've got through all my troubles in life, is by spirit. I got spunk. And I figured, well, if somebody doesn't like the way I look or they don't like my tapes, they can always turn the button off. I only want to talk and do this. Sometimes I might help somebody that's going through a hard time what I went through. I had all the car troubles and my car was always breaking down. Well, the news was that I never said anything, is I went out and found out I had good credit after I went through my divorce. I got me a loan and bought me a 2007 PT Cruiser. So now instead of car repairs and always stress, and I've got enough things to stress out about, I didn't need the stress of worrying about how I was going to get to my job and get to work. So now I've got a car payment of almost $300 a month. And yeah, that's stressful, but it's not as bad now that I know I can go out there and I can depend and rely on my car. And the diabetes was a very hard thing for me. And you know, a lot of people may breeze through life when a trial hits you and you just know everything right to do. But some of us do get negative. Some of us do get mad at God when we're going through a hard time, even though we know we shouldn't. And maybe that's a bad thing to say, but it's human and it's normal. And if you're going through a hard time like I did, I told God I was sorry, because I knew it was wrong to be mad. But I felt like I had been dumped and that I was all alone and I was struggling through all these problems. I felt by myself. Of course I wasn't, but when you're going through it and it's hard to deal with, you get mad. But you know what? There's a simple little cure for that. When you pray, tell God, I'm sorry. A lot of people can't say the words I'm sorry, but mean it from your heart. And the diabetes, yes, I've been overweight my whole life. I've dieted my whole life. I found out something I had to go to a dietitian. And through the diabetes, and I'd made up my mind, I don't want this diabetes and I'm not going to deal with it. Well, what choice have you got? You either deal with it and go through life, or you're headed for trouble. The first thing the dietitian told me, I have to stop skipping meals. I've dieted so much in my life, my body's in the starvation mode. But when you're diabetic, one thing you cannot do is skip eating. So people look at overweight people like me and they think, well, they need to learn how to eat. They need to learn how to quit eating so much. Well, that's not always somebody's problem. I was diabetic, and the worst thing you can do is not get enough carbs. You need to eat right. They had to teach me first to start eating the right foods. I loved salad and vegetables, but that's all I was eating. Then I had a spell where I loved dessert. I was raised as a child where we had to have dessert every night before you go to bed. Bad thing. I have found out, guess what? Sugar-free Jell-O's wonderful. Sugar-free chocolate pudding's wonderful. And I've had people actually negative on me, people that I care about. I go to a ladies' breakfast every week on Wednesdays. The first thing they did was start downing me for my sugar-free food. And I've learned how to cut carbs. I've lost weight. The doctors are stunned. I've brought my diabetes under control. In May, I was up, my blood sugar level was up over in the 200s. Well, now I have brought it down. The last checkup I had at the doctor, my level is down to normal within a few months. I watched the carbs. I did what they told me. I counted the carbs. I cut out things that were bad for me. And then the ladies' breakfast tell me you shouldn't be eating the sugar-free stuff. It's bad for you. Well, you know what? If I take a toss-up between sugar-free and getting less carbs and less calories and eating the stuff I used to eat, I've lost weight and I'm doing better. So I can too poke my finger. I can too take a blood test. And guess what? I found out. As heavy as I've been my whole life, I can too lose weight. It's slow, and yeah, I may stop. The next thing I got to do is buy a treadmill and start walking. But somebody out there could be going through a hard time. And I had somebody come on after I had been without a computer for about a year. The first night I went on the computer, somebody went on my daughter's website and said, your mom looks like a pig. Well, you know, I'd made up my mind right then I would never go back on YouTube ever again. Well, guess what? That little spit and fire and spunk that kept me alive my whole entire life, it kicked in gear. And guess what? I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. And if somebody doesn't like the way I look, click off the button, because I'm coming back. And if I can help anybody in the words I say, life is hard, but just hang in there and you can do it. Whatever you're going through, you can too do it. You just find the right way. You talk, you read books, you get help, and if you're trying to lose weight, then talk to a dietitian, find the right way to eat. But you know what? My life isn't as bad as what I think it is. Sure, I'd like it to be better. There's times when I don't have the money to buy the food that I need to eat. But I'll make it, and I will survive. And I hope it helps somebody, and I will be back later. Bye.